Well, Lou, I am here with you. To my honor, thank you so much for coming and putting the effort and energy into showing up yet again. I sincerely appreciate it. So I know you, Lou, from leatherwork as leather ateliers, makers, and creative people. And I think we met through Ralph Harmon, if I'm correct. And from there, then we did the Leather
Yep, we
Guild,
did.
and then you shared with me your expertise, and I helped you do snaps, and we've kind of come,
I still need help with snaps.
you got it, Lou, no problem. And so I know you to be this incredible master leather maker, but you're more than that. You're also a mom and a wife, and you have before this, you have a whole nother career in business. You're a serial entrepreneur. You've had Mom's LLC for many years. And your employees have grown up in your business. So that's exciting. So what I'm really want to do is thank you so much for the way that you show up and the way that you contribute in so many facets of your life. And that's why I wanted to interview you, because I want other people also to see your badassery.
Okay.
So I want to know, you have Bullocks now, and you also have this tertiary business, which is California Leather Arts. And so it's classes in schools, and I know you haven't been able to do much this last year, but it's like a whole nother side of you, from this business building to mastering a craft and then teaching it. Can you tell me, like, did you always know you wanted to be in this fashion luxury goods arena, or was there something defining?
I think something defining. My main money maker is insurance billing for physicians and acting as a consultant. And when you're using your mind, your creative side is being blocked.
Yeah.
And I've had a lot of room, very fortunate. My husband pretty much gives me whatever I need, make sure I'm happy. So I have this beautiful sunroom, and I started making quilts. And I took this simple little course on making a fake leather handbag with a Teflon foot. Well, I took that, and it drove me crazy for 2 years. Everything, YouTube, all the books, you name it. I was buying tools that I didn't know I didn't even need to buy. And I
You went down the
finally,
rabbit hole.
yeah, I went down the hole, and I finally found someone who was willing to work with me. And I worked with the individual for 2 years and worked on her products. And I decided to start working out of home.
Yeah, so it
Several
was
years
that one
ago.
class.
Yeah. It was a 2 year, 1 year
Oh, right.
class, 9 months, and then I worked for her for the remainder of a year and a half.
But the defining moment was a class, and then you worked, but it wasn't just anybody. It was a really incredible master craftsman. So you come with, I just want to acknowledge, you come with incredible master skills. It's not the average person's leatherworking.
No, it isn't. It was, let me get my dog. It was really, I believe in, if you put the energy out there, it'll come.
Yeah.
Either by talking to somebody or searching or getting your chakra together, it will come. But you have to make it. And I reached out to her, and I learned. She was 14 years working for Hermes. She worked on the Kelly bag, and I was very fortunate to get that trade underneath my belt. Very fortunate. And my purpose in teaching is to pass that trade, because that trade is a lost art.
It truly is.
It started Yeah, it is the saddle stitching, the edging, falling in love with the leather and creating and designing. And then when you give the product to somebody and they open it up, they say, oh my God, this is more than what I expected.
Yeah. And I have to say, Lou,
But teaching is a different level, and teaching I just totally love.
and I have to say, you're an excellent teacher. I was just going to say that you're very patient and thoughtful, and you give a lot of room for expanse and trial. And, you know, creatives are a little wacky, but it takes a really patient teacher to allow that flow between the actual technical aspect and the creativity. And I really appreciate that about your teaching.
Thank you.
I enjoy it. Yeah. So it's interesting you came about it just by that class. Were you always into fashion? I mean, I know you're into luxury goods. So I mean, but
I've been sewing forever as a child.
Yeah,
Sewing was an escape for me. It was my escape.
I see.
And in high school in Omaha, we had home ec, and one of the things was sewing.
Nice.
And my final project was a 3-piece, a jacket, a vest, and a pleated skirt with a zipper and a
wow.
button. And not only that, it was pleated and plaid, and everything had to match.
Yeah, of course it did.
I got the best grade for it.
I'm sure you did, Lou. I'm sure there wasn't a stitch out of place, to be honest.
There could be. You know, that's a blessing when you have one out of place. It's a blessing.
Maybe. So what's the most fun thing or exciting thing you've done professionally?
In creating, or?
Well, I don't know, just like what really made you feel like you were in the right place and you were just in your flow, you loved it, you loved the results, just something professionally that was a benchmark for you.
I think one of my philosophies when I'm teaching, back of my mind, is I'm looking for somebody I can teach to be better than me. Because I want to share everything. You know, I'm not going to be able to do this forever.
Yeah.
And I want to find and teach someone who can really take on. Yeah.
So that would be an exciting professional.
It is. It is. My first student, I practiced with the student and I gave her a full year scholarship. She was a 17-year-old. She lost her house in the fires in Northern California. Her father's a police officer. He wanted to know what my school was all about, and I told him. And he says, well, my daughter lost her workshop, everything in it. And I said, well, bring her in. Let me interview her and check her out. And she was with me for 2 years. She made a messenger bag. I told her, take it apart, and I helped her make the pattern. And she made it out of beautiful leather and lined it with lamb skin.
Wow.
It had a strap buckle, a pillow, bellow pockets inside, and snap pockets outside, and piping.
Wow, that's impressive.
It's amazing.
That's impressive.
All by hand.
Yeah.
That was total joy.
Well, that goes
happen.
You know, both, to her and to your ability to teach her. I mean, leather is not easy to work with. It's heavy, it's thick, the tools are big, they're sharp. There's so many elements into leather making that I think that's why it's a dying art. It's hard. It's not easy to do. So that speaks as much to your teaching skill as it does to her desire to learn. So congratulations on that. And thank you for showing her the ropes. So that kind of shifts into business. Let's talk about business for a second and what makes you successful. I'm curious if you could look at all of your business skills, your experience, your tools, and your team. What do you think is what has helped you along the way the most whether it's insights, wisdoms, belief systems, just the most in all of your businesses?
I think it's confidence, determination to figure out what's the best solution in getting to your landmark, and achieving it and making it happen and seeing it happen, and the growth.
That's interesting. You said confidence, but I really heard you say determination and goals. Yeah. So to have a goal, to be determined and confident that you're going to get there.
Yeah. Just like when I started my insurance billing, that was almost 22 years.
It's amazing.
Yeah, 22 years ago. There wasn't outsourced insurance billing, and there weren't many of them. And when I started with the clients that I was employed with, and I turned my employment over to self-employment with my business. And in return, I took their exam room and I had my office there with them.
Why did you do that?
I'm sorry?
Why did you do that?
Why what?
Why did you do that? I mean, what made you think of it? Why was it a business you could start if nobody was doing it?
Okay, well, I received a bill from one of my doctors, and it was on the same invoice that my clients I work with. And I called up and found out it was a third-party billing. I wanted to know how she did it. So she let me in. She started teaching me. And then she says, Lou, you could do this too. There's not too many of us doing this. This is just breaking up.
Great.
I said, oh, really? She says, I'll help you. So she helped me.
That is awesome.
She showed me who to call, what to do, and I took off.
She sounds like a badass boss lady.
Yeah. And to this day, we're still in connection. And at one point, I had 23 doctors and 9 employees.
Wow.
And I was in the Medical Society building in San Francisco.
Yeah.
It's I needed to weed out.
Yeah. It's interesting. So that brings me into my my last question, which is, what makes you a badass boss lady? I mean, what would your employees say?
I expect a lot, but they get good pay. I'm very kind to them. Very kind.
Yeah, I could see that, Lou.
I had one for, when they need something. Yes. I never say no to my employees.
You're awesome that way. And I would say that
especially when they're good.
I would also say you do that for your friends and your family. It's part of your nature.
Yeah, I would.
So thank you so much for showing up. And I just want to say again, thank you so much, Lou, for taking the time to be here and letting me honor you, for sharing your expertise and your time with me on many different levels, not just here. I really appreciate you and am glad that I know you and look forward to many more years. Thanks, Lou.
Same, Lisa. Yeah. Yeah, you're a good friend and I adore you. Thank you.
Thank you, Lou.
Have a good day.
You too.